Hello, my name is Justin Bilyeu, and today I'm going to be walking through our TSAP reimbursement form. So first and foremost, you're going to need the link to the correct form. That should be in the email you received with your approval for the grant. So you should have the correct direct link there. If you can't find that, there's also links available on our Commerce website. You can see that on our Export Montana page under Trade Show Assistance Program. So if you go there, you'll be able to see the reimbursement request link, or you can search it if you just click the grants and loans tab. You can search that manually underneath the keyword search TSAP. There's the initial application, and then there's the reimbursement application. Again, you can get a little confusing in here, so I recommend doing the direct links. So let's open that up. That'll take us to the landing page where we can confirm we're at the right one. TSAP reimbursement. Again, we don't click this application forms. There's nothing there. Give me this blue apply button. It'll ask us to log in. Hopefully by now you've already created a login in order to apply. But if you're assigned to put in the reimbursement request, but you weren't the initial person who created it, then you might need to create your own login. There'll be a registration number on the original creator's profile page. But you can also request that number that'll link the accounts to the same company. It'll ask you for that when you go to create an account. If the company already has an account, you'll just call the state IT team if you don't have that number or don't want to bug the person to go look it up. There's their number, dial 2 for login support. They can help you get a password. They can help you find that number that'll associate two logins to the same business. So then you can all work on drafts and submit. But most of the time, a company will only need one login. But every now and then, you might want to have a couple. Different people are doing different parts. I'll do the state login, but most companies will be that citizen login. This will take you into the form. Again, the start application button, you don't press that right away. That actually creates the draft. So you need to put in all the basic info first, then click start application. That creates the draft that you can then tweak, view in my requests, and then later submit once you're ready. So we'll just go ahead and do some basic info just to get us past this. Show name, show location, the dates, that basic info. This is really helpful information for us to see the ROI of the program. So if you can just put in an estimate of what you think you'll make over the next 18 months, that could be a general estimate, and then put in some of your goals. And if it helped, if you achieved those, then if you foresee any job retention, and if you see any hiring based off of that activity. Then down here is where you put in your more specific trade show expenses. So hopefully you've kept all your receipts. And this is where you can then go ahead and add those. So what's the activity? Say booth fee, contractor. So the name of whoever you did it, ABC. And then the cost, let's say it was 5,000. And then you upload the matching receipt. So when in doubt, if this is wrong, I go off of the receipts. So make sure you get the correct receipt in there. You can add a note if there's something that needs to be explained. Then you can add another one, add your other costs, and then another one, and keep going, adding your receipts there. If you have a show that had a bunch of small receipts and you're not up to your max, then you can go to the bottom and always add more attachments and just do a big dump of receipts in there, and I'll go off of that. I appreciate when you go through and name them and claim them in here first. And then if you run out of spaces, you can just use that general attachments. But again, as long as I have the receipts, I can make it happen. And then if you if during that initial application, if you applied for any of these, if you're in the Made in Montana program, or if you applied for any of those bonuses, again, that's only if you don't hit the max with your expenses. So if it's a cheaper show, this can be helpful. And then for your travel, the TSAP grant has a $500 travel stipend. So you just need to get up to that $500. So if you have a hotel that gets you there, can add that, or flight. If you drove, again, we use the mileage based off the trip. So you don't need to do anything for that. You could just give me a note that you could put in mileage, and you could put an approximate cost for that, but just add a note and say that you drove. And then what I do is based off of the address of where you left and the address of where you went, we use the IRS as like mileage reimbursement per mile. So that's how we do driving. But usually you can get up to that $500 pretty quick with hotels or a flight. And then if you want to add a couple, there's another box for adding more travel expenses. And then you can say how you'd like it, if it's checked to the mail, or if you want to do the electronic funds transfer, that's fine. If you've used it in the past, you can just, again, re-upload it, that form. It'll give you that form here as your banking information. The first time, it'll take a little bit for that paperwork to process. So, but then if you've reapplied, and then it'll be a little faster once we already have that filed for you. But even if it's your first time using this, it'll be a little bit faster than the mail, because they have to process the check, and then it's the speed of the mail. So it could be a few business days to process, a few business days to mail. So it might save you a little bit of time if you go ahead and do that extra paperwork and do the electronic funds transfer. Either one is fine. Then you'll just put in your certification, the name, title, date. Give us your feedback. It's really helpful. You could say that was a helpful show for you or not. That's always good to know. You could say if the website was a little clunky for you, and I don't mind passing that along to the people that can actually, the IT people that can actually make some changes for us. And then, so you'll, over here, if you click, okay, I want to create my draft, it'll be like, wait, you didn't tell me your estimates. We strongly encourage that you fill out all these boxes, even if they're not required, and then go ahead and create that draft. And that's going to be stored here under my request now. So you can go back and work on it. But you'll see this, oh, I requested $0. That's all right. We just add up your receipts on the back end. So this is going to read 0. And we'll communicate via email what you can expect your reimbursement to be. And that's about it. So then all you do is click submit application. And then you should be good to go. And if you have any issues with the form, you can reach out to me or somebody else on the export team. If you have any issues logging in, again, it's going to be the state IT people that actually have access to the login information. So call that number and they can help you with that. So thanks so much, and we'll talk to you later.